Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Kananan. Now, in this show, we talk about everything under the sun, and tonight we're talking about business. You know, folks, like me, I'm sure many of you are looking for opportunities to invest your money and ways to spend your savings in order to make your money work for you, to create wealth, create employment, increase your holdings, and to live better lifestyles and ensure financial security. Now, tonight we're going to talk about franchising. This is a concept where you can make money off concepts and ideas that are already out there in the market. And joining us for the first segment to talk about the basics of franchising is Mr. Bong Magpayo, and he's the president and owner of Sweet Corner.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Buddy.
Good evening, Bong. Welcome to Philippines Uncut.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Alam mo, this is a very interesting topic we have tonight because, you know, I mean, aside from being very educational, we can really help a lot of people now. You know, make their savings, as I said in my opening spiel, make their savings work for them. And there are so many people watching now, people who are maybe in their 30s, in their 40s, nearing retirement, looking for something to do, looking for ways to invest their money, their hard-earned savings.
That's true, actually.
Yes. Now, let's talk about you, Bong. What is your background?
Well, I'm, well, my real name's Voltaire Magpayo, no? And, you know, I came from not a Chinese-sounding family name, no? Well, I'm a graduate of business management at San Beda. I took a master's at the University of Asia and Pacific. I used to be a salaried worker. I used to work in Monterrey, then with the government, Philippine Tourism Authority. Well, until I became, you know, I got married and thought of, you know, securing the future of my children. So we thought then of entering into business. And, you know, if you don't know anything at all, during that time, you know, well, franchising is the easiest way to go into business. So that's the reason why we entered into franchising.
Yes, and, you know, so you really are an entrepreneur, and it takes a lot of courage, no? To leave the security of salaried life, salaried, you know, activities where you can rely on paycheck at the end of every month, you know, and it's pretty regular, to enter into your own business.
Yes.
And the insecurity, the uncertainty of it all, no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, quickly, because I know we're going to talk about your business in the second segment along with our other guests. But quickly, what is the business that you have that you're into at the moment?
Well, we're the owner of Sweet Corner Food Cart. Sweet Corner, we're into selling corn on a cob, shredded corn, popcorn, and sweet corn shake. The idea there is everything with corn.
Okay. Now, of all the businesses that you could have entered into, why did you choose to get into the corn, the corn business?
Well, basically, I love corn. And, you know, I worked for many years in South Cotabato. I used to work there. So I was like exposed to agribusiness. And, you know, the problem in agriculture, you know, normally the farmers, they ended up always at the losing end kasi they don't know the actual price in the end market or sa palengke, hindi nila alam because their produce are normally being sold to traders. From traders to consolidators or assemblers, and then to traders again, and then to wholesalers, and then to retailers. So you can see the layers of marketing
at least 4 or 5 different layers
Yes,
before it
yes,
gets to
yes.
the
Yes.
consumer.
So we thought then we'd like to help the cooperatives. We'd like to link their produce from farm to shelf. So we came up with that food cart sweet corner.
Very good. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about the organization that you are currently a member of. You're on the board, I understand,
Yes.
of the AFFI, which is...
Well, AFFI stands for Association for Filipino Franchisers Incorporated.
Okay. When and why was this formed?
Well, first is it was formed like 15 years ago, 1997. Because during those times, I was told by the founding members, no? Well, let me acknowledge their names. The franchise guru, Mr. Butch Bartolome, the Goto King, who is also the Goto Queen, Miss Dix Laurel, and Mr. Ricky Cuna of Pure Gelato. Well, they thought then of, having an organization that would really address the needs of the Filipino homegrown SMEs, small, medium, micro SMEs. So
Okay.
they thought of forming that association.
With the end objective, I assume, of better synergy, helping them promote their businesses, maybe professionalizing the franchise.
At first, it's more of fellowship.
Okay.
And then, little by little, in trickles, new concepts were formed, and so they began to accept as members.
Yes. So, okay, let's define first for our viewers, what is franchising? Now, in my opening spiel, I said, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a way that people can make money off ideas or concepts that are already out there, businesses that are already existing. Is this
That is
a correct definition?
Businesses that have already brand equity, as they said,
Okay.
meaning it has been nurtured over time. They're past the developmental cost, the learning curve. So it's more of using a trade name of a proven brand name, a successful brand name. So that
A
is
brand with a
franchising.
following already.
Yes,
With the clientele, established clientele.
Yes. So and then the system, using their system, using the entirety of the business.
Okay. What is the state of the franchise industry today in the Philippines? Because I guess if this organization was formed 15 years ago, it's come a long way since then.
Actually, when they formed the organization, they were only like 7, and now I think we are less than 100. So somehow it increased.
And all your members are people who own are franchisors, companies that are open or are currently franchising or offering
Yeah, that's
franchise
correct.
sets.
Yeah.
That's a lot, huh?
We have developers also, franchise developers.
Okay. Now, let's talk about application. Who can franchise and who should franchise? I mean, who? Okay, let's take it from the consumer point of view. Who can get into franchising, or who are the ideal people to get to enter into a franchise operation?
Well, our requirement, basically is at least the business should be in existence like for the past 2 years.
Okay.
And at least you have more or less 5 outlets already in the market before we can accept you as a member. Third, it must be proven, successful. There must be always, awareness campaign being done by the franchisor to develop his brand. And perhaps it must, and last is he should have a franchise-friendly package.
What is that? What is a franchise-friendly package?
Because for somebody who wants to enter to a business first time, you would want to make it less difficult for him
Of course.
to manage a business. So that's the duty of the franchisor, to make it easier for him to manage the business.
Now, have you noticed among your members that some people, some companies maybe are a bit hesitant to get into franchising because maybe they feel they're losing a little bit of their autonomy or a little bit of their control over some, kasi if you have a business, usually it's your baby, diba?
Yes, that's
especially if you started from scratch, you grew it and it became successful. It's your baby. So, do you notice that among some companies here in the Philippines that they're a bit hesitant to get into this because of that, protective or
yes,
that kind
that
of
is correct. Yeah. Totoo yan. Yes. But there are mechanisms also to ensure the quality of your services or your products.
What are the advantages for a company to franchise?
Well, there are many. Like for example, in my case, my capital is only up to 4 cards. I want to expand my business. I want my business to be, to reach as far as Mindanao, in Visayas. You cannot do that, given a limited capital. But with franchising, people can invest in your business, and by doing so, you are expanding.
So it's a way to expand your business.
Yes.
And it gives you access to capital in a way.
Capital, yeah, that's one.
To grow your business, to expand it into other areas
Yes.
that normally you wouldn't have access to.
Yes, that is it. Yeah, that's right.
From the investor point of view, let's say people watching now, and they have a little bit of money, they want to, as I mentioned in my spiel, they want to invest their money in something that will earn them
Yes.
more money. How small or how much money do people need to get a franchise?
Well, it depends. But for us, for a food cart, we're only a food cart. Well, our franchise package is 230. But that includes everything.
Okay.
The standard card, mayor's permit, practically everything. We just, turn over to our franchisee and, let him manage.
What is the range though? Because I assume food cart, we're talking about the bottom range.
Yes.
This is something that easily anyone can get into. How varied is this range?
Well, it can go as high as 30 million. Yes. Is
Okay.
it okay to name brand names? Well, it can go high. It can go high.
Of course, if you're talking about a fast food chain,
Yes,
for
that's correct.
instance, I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
this would be one of those, no?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Let's talk about why should people get into, why should investors look at franchising? Why not another type of business? Why not, let's say, if I'm an investor, if I have someone with savings, and I'm looking at certain business opportunities, why should I get into franchising? Why not in real estate? Or why not start my own business, so it's my own idea and all that? What is the benefit of franchising?
Well, there is a study before by the Department of Trade and Industry that franchising ensures 90% success rate.
Okay.
So, meaning it's less risk or less riskier.
Why? Is it less
Well,
risky?
it's because it has already a brand equity. It has a system already.
It's proven.
Yeah, it's proven. You have already customers. It's, say, for example, if they go to Davao, to Cebu, even if they're based here in Manila, for example, Sweet Corner, I have outlets in Cebu or Davao. If my customers here in Manila goes to Cebu, they're also my customers there.
Okay.
So the reach is, endless.
Okay. So as you said, 90% success rate.
Yes.
According to DTI.
DTI, that's correct.
What are the downsides naman of franchising? Let's say, if I get to do this and I get a franchise, what is the downside?
Well, owning a franchise doesn't mean that, not giving a direct hand managing it. Kasi sometimes people tend to think that once you franchise, all you have to do is just sit and money will come in, but it doesn't work that way.
That's another question. Few things are. No?
Yeah.
But, okay, that's another question I want to ask you. A lot of people watching now are probably people, as I said, who have savings but who are working.
Yes.
They're in companies, they have employment, they have other businesses. What are the manpower, the hours? can someone who is engaged in employment get into franchising as well?
Yes, that is well. Actually, we are advocating for that.
How? I
Yes,
mean, like any business, a franchise has to be a business that is looked after, and supervised. How do you supervise that and go to work 9 to 5, 8 to 5 every day?
Well, when you franchise, well, as I said a while ago, everything is already in place.
Okay.
Once in a while, we have auditors to check the quality of the goods, the services. And second is, they have operations manual that they can, once in a while they can look at it.
Okay.
And they don't have to market it because the franchisor markets in their behalf. So all he has to do is really at least know the financial side.
Okay.
Because normally the franchisor takes care of everything. It doesn't want to destroy his name. I mean, that is why the franchisor are really directly involved in the day-to-day management of the not only company owned.
Yeah, but if someone is employed, then it would assume, I would assume that he or she would need to get a full-time manager to run the business.
Of course,
it's not something, as you said, it's not something that you can just leave alone.
Yes.
I mean, leave it alone and expect it to make money and run well.
Yes, and the idea there is at least you know what's going on in your franchise outlet.
Yes. Okay. Now, so by this rationale, it's possible to get into this and not give up your day job.
Yes.
Now, in your experience, Bong, let's say in your business, what are the main problems that they encounter, that investors encounter when they get into a franchise operation or business?
Well, sometimes, when first-time businessman or would-be businessman, they tend to expect so much. So, and they tend to depend on their franchisor so much that, well, large part of it, has to come from them managing the business.
Okay.
So we always tell them, we are here to support you, to provide everything. The business is, well, it has proven success record. So all you have to do is manage it well. All the support systems are there. We supply everything at a lower cost. We provide everything, the uniforms. We provide the technical know-how, practically everything. All they have to do is really to see if their crew is doing it well, to see that there's still stocks, on their storage.
Yeah.
So more or less, it's ministerial on their part.
So kung pinabayaan man yan and it doesn't work, it really is a lot of times in your experience,
Yes,
it's really the fault of the
Because
franchisee.
How can you argue with? For me, I have 65 outlets. 65 outlets are all earning, and yet you are not earning. There must be something wrong with your, with the way how you manage the business.
Yeah. So a lot of times it really is the failure of a lot of franchises comes in mismanagement or lack of management.
Yes, that's another factor. Although there are many other factors like locations. You have to choose the right location. It's all location. Any brand name, if it is under a wrong location,
okay,
will surely close down.
You mentioned certain things that certain support services and products that the franchisor will give the franchisee. Like you said, training,
Yes.
Advice, protocols, all that, and even supplies, which
Yes.
will be sourced from the franchisor. Now, what does the franchisee have to? What is his responsibility? I mean, what does he pay now the franchisor?
Normally, we
How does
ask
it work?
for
How does it work?
Yeah, we ask for royalty for all those services.
Okay.
So the franchisee, well, actually, the franchisee just monitor the movement of his stocks.
No, but the franchisee has to pay. Upfront for all this.
Yeah,
For the whole package.
Yeah.
And then after paying for the whole package, is there like a recurring fee that this person has to pay usually?
Yeah, there's what we call royalty fee.
Okay.
Well, this royalty fee comprises of the, his marketing share, advertising share, fee share,
Yeah.
and continuous, product development. These are all part of the royalty contribution of the franchisee.
And this royalty goes on for the length of the business, for the length of the existence of the business, or meron bang-
For others,
Yeah.
but in our case, we
usually,
don't.
what is the industry practice?
Well, at the onset of the business operation,
A one-time payment.
a one-time
And
payment
then after
plus
that?
every month or periodically, they would ask for franchisor would ask for royalty.
Another question. What if, let's say, a franchisee, carrying your name, let's say Sweet Corner, carrying your name and your logo, in effect representing you out
Yeah.
there in the marketplace. What if a franchisee is ruining things? Let's say because of his mismanagement or her mismanagement, the company is actually getting a black eye already, or getting a bad reputation for quality, poor quality, whatever. What is, what arrangement do the parties have when things like this happen?
Well, before we play the game, we have contract.
Okay.
Once
sure.
that's a breach of contract, so we have to close down. I have to take it from you.
Really?
Yes. So
Have there been times that maybe you've had to resort to legal action for this?
so far
this kind of
none.
thing? But
I choose my franchisees.
but it does happen.
It does, yes.
Okay.
But once you write them and explain them that you're carrying the name of Sweet Corner, which might affect other outlets, they will realize. And I throw in support. I ask my people to always, tutukan nyo yan because it can be a problem.
Okay. Cardinal rules, if any. What advice can you give to our viewers who are looking at possible franchise business opportunities? What is best? What should they keep in mind when choosing a franchise to get into?
I guess it has to start from what you like to do. Well, if you'd like to eat corn, okay yun, Sweet Corner. If you like to, your inclination is more on gusto mo magpaspa palagi, then look for a spa. Depending on what, because you don't want to do something that you don't like for the rest of your life. Second is, how much is my capital? How much did I save for the last 5 years?
What do you mean?
Well, because it entails fun.
Of course. Getting into business like any business, you
Yes.
have to spend in order to earn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one, franchising, doesn't have developmental costs. It has no learning curve because the brand is already there. It's a success already. So you check your finances. Is it fit for a food cart? Is it fit for a spa? Is it fit for depending on what you like. And third, it's once you're really would like to go into franchising, check the franchise agreement, the terms and the conditions. It might be one-way, it might be a one-way type of, how do you say that? It might not be a
Beneficial.
win-win.
It might be win-win.
Yeah.
Now, okay, for advice like this, does AFFI offer consulting services or advice to people who want to get into this, but who don't have enough information or don't know how to go about it?
Oh, yes. Actually, it works two ways of franchising. One is, if you would like to enter to a business, say, for example, you're salaried OFW, well, the fastest way and easiest way to go into business is through franchising. On the other hand, if you already have like a business operating already, like a store or a restaurant, and you think you want to expand, then I guess we also have a developer, a franchise, by the name of Mr. Butch Bartolome. So it's not only for first time or would be businessmen. It's also for current businessmen.
So you guys help both companies who are looking to expand operations,
Yes.
or private investors who are looking to buy a franchise.
Yeah.
operation.
We normally, because franchising is very lucrative nowadays, that there have been proliferation of fly-by-night franchise companies.
Yes.
So if you're a member of an association, more or less, you can be assured that somebody will police, no?
Yeah.
Policing the organization.
Who can they contact in AFFI for concerns? They say both on both ends. The companies who are watching now, or let's say private investors who would like to explore franchising. Who can they contact?
Well, they can call our executive director, Mr. Rafi Canare.
Do you have a website as well?
Yeah, they can look at our website www.afi.com.ph.
And all the contacts are there.
Yeah.
And, as well as I guess advice and guidelines on franchising.
Yes, everything's there.
Okay, Bong, we have to pause for a station break, but guys, don't go away because more franchising for you when Philippines Uncut returns.
Thank you.